it's reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 14, Text 3. Ata cha yatra kautumbika dharapatyayo namna karmana vrikasirghala evanichato pi kadaryasya kudumbina uranakavat samrakshamanam misatopi harati ata. In this way, cha also, yatra in which kautumbikaha the family members, dara apatya adyaha beginning with the wife and children, namna by name only, karmana by their behavior, vrikasirgalaha tigers and jackals, eva certainly, anichataha of one who does not desire to spend his wealth, api certainly, kadaryasya being too miserly, kutumbinaha who is surrounded by family members, uranakavad like a lamb, samrakshamanam although protected, misataha of one who is observing, api even, haranti they forcibly take away. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. My dear King, family members in this material world go under the names of wife and children, but actually they behave like tigers and jackals. The herdsman tries to protect his sheep to the best of his ability, but the tigers and foxes take them away by force. Similarly, although a miserly man wants to guard his money very carefully, his family members take away all his assets forcibly, even though he is very vigilant. Please repeat, my dear King. Family members in this material world go under the names of wife and children, but actually they behave like tigers and jackals. A herdsman tries to protect his sheep to the best of his ability, but the tigers and foxes take them away by force. Similarly, although a miserly man wants to guard his money very carefully, his family members take away all his assets forcefully, even though he is very vigilant. Purport. One Hindi poet has sung, Din ka dakini, raat ka bakini, palak palak lahu chuse. During the daytime, the wife is compared to a witch, and at night she is compared to a tigress. Only business is sucking the blood of her husband both day and night. During the day, there are household expenditures, and the money earned by the husband at the cost of his blood is taken away. At night, due to sex pleasure, the husband discharges blood in form of semen. In this way, he is bled by his wife both day and night. yet he is so crazy that he carefully maintains her. Similarly, the children are also like tigers, jackals, and foxes. As tigers, jackals, and foxes take away lambs, despite the herdsman's vigilant protection, children take away the father's money, although the father supervises the money himself. Thus, family members may be called wives and children, but actually they are plunderers. So, मम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं अद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकन्त राधाकन्त नमोऽस्तुते. तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी शपानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we are continuing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, 14.3, instructions of Jala Bharat to Maharaj Raghugana. So if you see the entire chapter 5.13, Raghugana is getting instruction from Jala Bharat with so many analogies, at least 28, 29 analogies are there. And of course, we are getting the answer of the analogy based on the purport of Prabhupada. But if you just see the translation, you would not know what he's saying. Suddenly he's saying there is tiger in the forest, there is jackals, there is a mirage. So, Prabhu, wake him up. So you see all this analogy was given. And then the final verse of 5.13, Raghugana is saying that whatever you spoke is very important, very interesting, very instructive. But for the benefit of everyone and the benefit of the world, why don't you explain what do you mean? You know, if you see that verse. If you go to the final verse, you will see Jai Shri Shri Radha Madanya. So I'm not sure exactly where is the verse, but there was a verse like that where he's asking him to further explain about the situation, about all the analogies that was given in 5.13. So now here, because in the 5.13 also, Jada Bharat had spoken about this, while the merchant is going to the forest, he sees He's attacked by these tigers, jackals. So now the answer is given. So what is these tigers and jackals? So these are the family members. So of course we may think, oh, I mean, I am perfect, but my wife is drawing my blood. My children are drawing my blood, but I am sadhu. That is also not the case. We must understand there is exploitation done by men and male and females. Why we are uniting, right? For the purpose of enjoying sex life. If I am satisfied, I'm Atmaram. If I am fully satisfied, why they say that, oh, you complete me? Because you understand something is empty inside, something is missing in you. So basically, you are searching for happiness, right? So you think that, okay, I don't have this happiness. If I marry that person, I will get happiness. That person also is thinking the same thing. I'm having this hole in my heart. If I marry this person, I will also have happiness. But both of you all have hole in the heart. Both parties have no happiness. If I don't have the ingredient of happiness and that person doesn't have ingredient of happiness, how by coming together happiness will come? Right? So unless we understand that true happiness is there only in the lotus feet of Krishna. There is there's no ananda cannot be achieved. That's why Krishna is called Satchit Ananda. Unless one connects with the Supreme Lord Krishna and his devotees, one cannot find happiness. And trying to find happiness through your spouse is you thinking, okay, now I'll exploit this person sexually. And then the wife is thinking, okay, I also will exploit this person sexually and also materially by wealth. Because nowadays, those days only men used to work, right? Nowadays, both parties are working. So they will think, why I don't need your money, I have my own, right? The independence is there. So like that, if you go on whole life just exploiting each other, how will there be happiness and peace? Right? So it is said here that the of course the Prabhu was quoting the Hindi poem Din ka dakini Raat ka bakini Palak Palak Laguchus. So in the day all your time is gone working, the money is taken away. Night time you're losing your blood. And you're enjoying, just like the camel, no? The camel when he's biting the thorns, his tongue gets pierced. And then he's tasting his own blood and then he's feeling like he's enjoying. But what you are enjoying? You're enjoying your own blood only. Right. So these are all the situations if you are of a Grihamedi. And all these are due to what? Lusty affairs. Because of having lust which is not satisfied. See, Krishna is thinking, okay, now because of lust, you are continuously, Krishna says, right, Kama Esha, Krodha Esha, Rajogana Samudbhava, Mahasana Mahapapa, Vididam Iha Vairinam. This lust which is born out of Rajogun, this is your greatest enemy. Vidihinam Iha Vairinam. You have to slay this enemy. Right? So Krishna says, if you can, so how he helps you to slay the lust? You just analyze this situation. Very interesting. Now, okay, if I give him lust, okay, now let's say you're lusty for something. Let's just say you're lusty for achieving $1,000. Once you achieve it, what happens next? Are you going to be satisfied? You will think, why not 1,000? Why not become 10,000? Your lust never stops. It multiplies. Like the fire, you're putting ghee. Does it stop? So Krishna is thinking, okay, now this guy is lusty. Maybe if I give him his desire, he'll stop. He's not stopping. He wants more and more, uncontrollably more and more and more. Okay, then fine. Krishna says, okay, I will not give you what you desire. I will stop it. And when he stops it, what happens? Kama esha, krodha esha, rajoguna samudbhava. If I stop your desire, if I stop your lust, immediately the next reaction is anger. And then Mahasana Mahapa, sorry, not Kamesha, Krodat Bhavati Samhoha Smriti Vibramaha, 262 Bhagavad Gita. You lost your mind and then you do crazy things. Now, if you look at the news, the last 1 month, of course, it's going on every day 30 rape case in India, that's right, the statistics. But last 1 month, it is coming. Suddenly, you have Calcutta case. Suddenly, after that, you have Maharashtra. Now, again, another nurse somewhere. Why? Because the lust is not controlled. It's burning like a blazing fire. Imagine a monkey, right? Monkey is crazy. Monkeys are mischievous, right? Now imagine that monkey, he drinks alcohol. He'll become even more crazy. Then imagine that same monkey get bitten by a poisonous snake. You have alcohol inside, you are a monkey, and now you are having poison. So kama, krodha, lobha, everything coming together. And this kind of people looking for, okay, now then you get into married life. You're carrying so much kama, krodha, lobha, your spouse carrying, what will happen? Both of y'all will be exploiting each other day and night. And when sense gratification is stopped, then it becomes anger, becomes violent, murders. Like recently in India, there was one case. This girl, she was with this guy, and then apparently she had an affair. So why she had an affair? Tell me. Unless because her lust is not satisfied with one guy, she had an affair. I forgot the place. Just last week I saw. She had an affair, and then the guy found out about it, and immediately he has some naked pictures of her. Then he sent the pictures to her and her relatives, and he said that he started blackmailing her. Then she said, "Okay, let's settle this. You come and meet me." When she came to meet him in one house, her brothers and cousins caught the guy, and then they chopped him into pieces. So what is this? From lust that leads to anger, then uncontrollable anger, then wrath, then your bewilderment and memory, everything gone. Intelligence is lost. So one see how lusty affairs finally led to a very gruesome murder. Right. So if you think about it, this whole world is people everybody is so cruel. We are just trying to exploit someone or something. We're trying to exploit nature, we're trying to exploit our fellow citizens, animals. There's so much cruelty in the heart. Why? Even though we are humans, we have a higher birth, right? We have intelligence to come out of this cycle of birth and death, but we are trapped in this very dangerous cycle of exploitation. I mean, one of the biggest reason why. Now you send your children to school, no? At 13 years old minimum, they will go to school, right? The boys will start watching pornography. From 13 years old all the way until 20s, you are watching porn every day. Okay. You expect the person to behave in a cultured way? The statistics, 25 million people watch porn every minute. It is the greatest addiction. It's even more addictive than alcohol or drugs. So if you think about it, why? I mean, we are pressured by our society. Oh, you never send your son to school. Of course, I'm not saying don't send the son. Try to find another option. Of course, in Singapore, you got no way, but you just understand you are putting him into a situation where he's going to have karma, krodha, lobha, and you don't know what he's going to become. The child may have interest in God consciousness from a young age, but once they associate with the peers, everything changes. The attitude changes. That's it. And it's very, very, very difficult to bring back the mind once it gets attached to this. I mean, you think about it. Why they want you to watch this pornography? Now the big epidemic happening in India, everybody's going. Huh? Some rape happened. Let's go on the road. Take candle. Everybody prepare some candle. Let's walk. You think that's going to solve the problem by walking with candles? You got to solve this problem. You got to cut off this pornographic and all. This should be banned. You should have spiritual education. What's the point crying that this person committed this crime and this person is getting raped? Because the generations, I mean the children which are brought up, they are exposed to this day and night. And the law doesn't help you, there's a case in one university in India also. This girl, she had some problems with a boyfriend. So you just imagine, no, university, you spend so much money and time. Father, they said here, no, the father is spending money, so much money, right, to give to the children. Okay, then you put your child in a very prestigious university, paying a lot of money. You think they are going there to just study? They are going to have boyfriend and girlfriend, opposite sex together, fire and butter. The sloka, right? So I'm giving example. This girl, she was with a guy, and then apparently she didn't like him, so they broke up. The guy was angry. He told another girl in her room, help me to take revenge on her. Take a video of her when she's showering or something, when she's changing. And this girl, being a girl, also helped this guy. This recorded video was sent to him, and he started blackmailing her. And what happened? No, the girl hanged herself in the class, in the same dormitory. I mean, the place they're staying. That she hanged herself. So, and you think there is justice? The police comes. You know what happened? The school, they don't want bad reputation, right? They make a blackout in the building. They made some performance. Everybody went to see the performance. Make a blackout here. Took out the body, and then they gave to the parents and said. And then they before what happened was they told the family that, they made a record that the girl was suspended 2 days before. So there is no record of her committing suicide in my school. How come she's suspended 2 days before? You understand? You are worth nothing to these people. They just want your money. And if you get in trouble, the law will not help you. The police will not help you. If you got no power, nobody will help you. And then the case was closed. And the guy who blackmailed her is still studying in there. He was not exposed. He was not arrested. He was not charged. This is the kind of schools we are putting our children into. When Prabhu says this very heavily, this is why. Why rather this guy be a dumb than go and do these things, ended up in these things. So many things like that. Another case, a guy was bullied so terribly, bullied so badly, but what happened when the parents came and complained to the school expelled him, and the bullies are still going on. And now you see in NIT 3C, students are protesting. Unless they protest, the news won't come to the public. Some girl almost got raped in the school. And then she complained to the warden, and the warden said, you're not dressed properly. What are you? She was dressed properly. Maybe you're not dressed properly, she said like that. So, and then the school people, 200 students protested, then the news came out. If not, this will be closed. So even if you get raped in the school, even if you're the victim, you will not get any justice. So do you understand what is the situation in Kali Yuga? So coming back to the topic, I'm just trying to highlight how the world is, we are not in this. We need to be very careful. And if you want your children, by chance, if you put your school guy in this kind of education system and he still is a devotee, is a very rare thing. Some ISKCON devotees are like that. Okay, they are devotee. They are very good preachers. Same time they finished university and they are working. How rare that is to be a devotee and also a very serious devotee, but also studying material education, and then they're telling you also should do like that. How? You are putting yourself into the fire and you say don't get burned. So why not? Why are they not encouraging people to pursue spiritual life more seriously? If you go to ISKCON, they talk like that. You know? They'll say, "Oh, you're not studying properly. Why you're not studying properly?" Brahmachari is consulting like that. It's your duty, your karma, is your dharma to study. You know, he, you want people to be surrendered and you know. So you see, even the spiritual movement is going that way, that direction. So this is the unfortunate situation, and we really need to plan how to save our family. If not, we will be like that only. So if you see another sloka, Narada Muni is saying about this. So you see, the school refuses to let such news come out to the public because if you get intense idea, oh my God, this is happening in the school. Better I don't put my child there. All they care about is their reputation, nothing else. They don't care about your life. You are just like an ant. You understand? The Narada Muni says, Nahi anyo, Sri Narada Vacha, Nahi anyo justo dosyan, buddhi bhamso rajoguna, Srimadad abhijhatyadhir yatra stri jutam asavaha. He says, among all the attractions of material enjoyment, the attraction of riches bewilders one's intelligence more than having beautiful bodily features, taking birth in aristocratic family, and being learned. When one is uneducated but falsely puffed up by wealth, the result is that one engages in wealth in enjoying wine, women, and gambling. So today we are seeing he thinks he's enjoying. Narada is saying, but actually the lady also wants to exploit him, and like we saw in the verse today, the family, the children, they are taking away the money also. So this is very interesting point because you see, um, the attraction of riches bewilders one intelligence the most, more than even there's the verse in Kunti Devi, Janma Aishwarya Stuta Sri Bhire, Edamana Madapuman. Kunti Devi is saying there's four things that you get by pious activities: Janma, high birth; Aishwarya, riches; Shruta, knowledge; and Sri, beauty. So if you have this knowledge, beauty, well, it's very hard to find anyone who has all these four. And if one has these four, it's very easy to be puffed up. An example is Chandra. I already told this story. Just summarizing again. You know the story of the moon god, right? Chandra. Chandra was born to the rishi called Atri. Atri Rishi's tears produced Chandra. And Chandra was beautiful, high birth. Grandfather is Brahman, very rich, very powerful, very knowledgeable. The mind, right? Moon. The moon actually represents the Brahmanas. Huh? And so what is it? High birth, knowledge, wealth, everything he has. And then and on top of that, he did a Rajasuya sacrifice. He did a very big. At the time, the sacrifice was the greatest ever seen. And after doing that sacrifice, became so puffed up. And what happened? After being so puffed up, he went and raped. I mean, not raped. He went and charmed his guru's wife. It's a sin to go and seduce your guru's wife. So he took away Tara and he produced a child with her, who is Buddha, Mercury. And Buddha, then we see Pururava. In Pururava line the Kuru dynasty is coming, the Yadava dynasty is coming. So you see the puffed upness he had. But it is said in the Bhagavatam, in the 8th canto, I forgot the verse, 8548 is it? There's one verse like that the devotee is not puffed up by the wealth. Let me find that verse. Okay, so 8:22:26. You see this loka. It's a very interesting comparison now. जन्म कर्म वयोरूपा विद्याऐश्वर्यधानभिः यदि यस्य न भवेत् स्तम्भस् तत्रायं मत् अनुग्रहः. If a human being born in an aristocratic family or higher status of life, if he performs wonderful activities, if he's youthful, if he has personal beauty, or good education, good wealth, and if he nonetheless and if he is nonetheless not proud of his appearance, it is to be understood that he is especially favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if you have all these qualities and still you are humble, it's very hard to be humble. No? As I was telling just now, you are already a monkey. You are drinking alcohol and you're getting stung by a snake or a scorpion. How much pride you will have? Like Chandra, right? So an example of this is, I would say, of course, many of the pure devotees are like that, but I would say, especially, I've read, you see the next verse. Manastamba nimitanam janmadinam samantata sarvashreya pratipanam antamunyenamat para. Although aristocratic birth and other such opulences are impediment to the advancement in devotional service, because they are cause of false prestige and pride, these opulences never disturb the pure devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why they are not? So why they are not disturbed by this wealth and fame, fortune, beauty? Why? Because they possess something even greater. If you possess something much greater than all these things, which is Krishna, then why would you be having any pride? Because if you have Krishna, automatically all the good qualities manifest in you, right? Yashasti bhakti bhagavati akinchana sarve gunais tatra samastate sura harava bhaktastu mahat guna. So it is said 5:18, 12, I think, that all the good qualities are found if you have Krishna. Then you are not going to be using this to exploit. No? An example will be the Acharya called Kuratalvan from Sri Sampradaya, Ramanujacharya's disciples, chief disciple. So in his life, there is actually a verse glorifying him. He's very handsome, very rich, very learned, very highly learned. He was Ramanujacharya had many disciples, and this disciple represented the knowledge. He was the one who was preaching. I'll give an example later. And so what I said, and high birth. He was born in a very high family. But you know how he was not proud, because the story I was saying, he was doing Annadan daily for at least 6,000 people. His house is 16 kilometers away from Kanchipuram temple. So when he does Annadanam every day, so he never misused the wealth. And when doing Annadanam every day, after finishing Annadanam, the door of his house will close and it will be so loud. It is so loud that the sound can be heard by Vishnu and Lakshmi. And of course, there's a devotee called Tirukachinambi, who is very pure devotee. He's one of the gurus of Ramanujacharya. Tirukachinambi could talk directly to the Lord. Then the Lord was saying, Oh, what is that sound? Lakshmi Devi was saying, what is the sound? Then the Tirukachinam said, that is the house of Kuratalvan. He just finished Ramadan. Then he said, oh, he has so much wealth. Oh, great. So much wealth he's using in the service of Anadan Seva for devotees, Brahmanas. Very good, very good. Great, very, very wealthy guy, very rich, very nice. She told like this. After that, he came and told Kuratalvan, Lakshmi Devi was talking about you to Vishnu, about your wealth. And he got shocked. He's talking about my wealth. Then that is dangerous. He's not talking about my devotion. Then I'm a waste. You see how the devotee is thinking. If the Lord is glorifying my wealth, then that is dangerous. Because wealth is, and if the Lord glorifies my bhakti, that is the real thing. So that means I don't have bhakti. That means this wealth is an impediment for my bhakti, I'm giving it up. So even though he possessed all the aristocratic high birth, everything, not even one pinch interested in it. And he just gave it up like that. And like I told before, he was walking in the forest with his wife to go to Sri Rangam. Wife was still carrying the golden plate. And wife was feeling afraid. Then he said, why are you afraid? Something you're keeping with you. Then she showed the golden plate. She said, why you're carrying this? We already given up everything. Give up, throw away. So this is verse very suitable for him. And of course, I was saying that his knowledge is so great, right? Because what happened, Ramanujacharya wanted to write a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra to defeat Sankaracharya's Shariraka Bhashya. So if you look at Sankaracharya's commentary, Sankaracharya is quoting this person called Bodhayana Rishi. Bodhayana Rishi wrote something called the Bodha and Vritti. So this Bodha and Vritti is a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, Vedas, and also the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas. In Vedas, there's Karma Kanda section. No? So he's giving a commentary on this Karma Kanda part and also Vedanta Sutra part, Upanishads. So Sankaracharya quoted a lot from this Bodha and Vritti. So then what happened? So there was only one text available. Ramanujacharya wanted to read it first because he had to reference whether he's even quoted correctly or not. Then he only used the same quote, see all the verses and defeat him, right? One part of his writing like that. So the only copy was in Kashmir. So Ramanujacharya traveled with Kuratalvan to Kashmir just to find him. And then they went to the Pandit, and then the Pandit welcomed them and everything. And then they said, we want to see these texts. And then one of the Pandits said, why not you have it then? And Ramanujacharya was very happy that he's getting it. So they were taking it and then they were going back. Another guy said, how can you give him? These people are, they are not Vaishnavas. They will smash our Smartas tradition. If they smash us, then how we will get money? Thinking of money only. If they smash us, if they defeat our philosophy, our Advaita philosophy, how we will survive? We should get it back. So while on the journey, one day has passed, Then these people quickly ran and took back the book. Then they said, go away. And Ramanujacharya was very upset, very depressed. How I'm supposed to write this now? How can I write? And you know what Kuratalvan said? Don't need to worry. When you were sleeping at night, whole night I didn't sleep, I read it. I read it fully. And I remember everything. Now I'll write it for you. Can you imagine I was talking about intelligence, knowledge. So how he used the knowledge to serve his guru, and how we are using our wealth. As we saw just now, the 10, 10, 8. They are using our wealth to show off. You see, 16, 13, 15. Yeah. So it's a quite a long verse. So you see how the demonic person thinks. The demonic person thinks so much wealth I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So how he is using his wealth? He's always thinking, I have so much wealth, I'll do this scheme, I'll do that scheme, I'll do, and so much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. But he don't realize that money is taken away by all these friends and relatives and family. He is my enemy. I have killed him. Yeah. And my other enemies will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, happy. I am the richest man surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifice. I shall give charity. Sometimes they are giving charity, right? It's all not charity in the mode of goodness, just to get some name and fame. Thus I shall rejoice. And of course, they won't give much to devotees. Krishna also don't want. Yeah. In this way, such persons are deluded. Like we know some billionaire who don't want even to give 11 million. Right? And he can spend 700 million in the casino in a year. Right? So this is the condition. I mean, this is the thing. He thinks that, oh, now I have defeated my enemies. My enemies are gone. But he doesn't know the enemies are in the family, sucking your blood. Your son is taking everything. Your wife is scheming behind you. Right? So, unless we are going to become surrendered to the lotus feet of Krishna, we cannot, as we see in this verse, the Bhagavatam. One has to make progress in spiritual life by not associating a person or simply interested in sense gratification and making money. So we have to avoid such kind of association. Not only such persons, but one who associates with such persons should be avoided. So spiritual life is not only about chanting Hare Krishna and reading proper books, following. The don'ts are also very important. Like the example many times Prabhupada gave. If you have a cup with water and you want to fill up with milk, you have to completely remove the water. Then only the milk can put. If let's say the water is only, let's say you throw half, you're keeping half water, and then you put milk. If it's mixed milk and water, then that is not pure milk also, right? So if you really want to become Krishna conscious, we also have to remove all those things which are not Krishna conscious. Right? And number one is associating with such people who are interested after wealth and all this sense gratification, women, sex. Then what you should do? One should mold his life in such a way that he cannot live in peace without drinking the nectar of the glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So you must live in a way that you feel very restless if you do not hear about Krishna Katha. 4:22, 23. So you see, you must not be satisfied. And thus one can be elevated by being disgusted for the taste with sense enjoyment. It works hand in hand. If you Prabhupada said, one devotee asked Prabhupada, how do you know that I'm progressing? Prabhupada said, if you're progressing, then your material attraction will also go away. Bhakti, parasha, anubhava, virakti, vairagya will come. Detachment will come. You understand? You can test it yourself. Am I detached from all this sense pleasure, right? So he says that important point here that you should be living in such a way you cannot live in peace. So we should never be satisfied. as Satya Prabhu gave in the class before, he said that we should be satisfied with how much money we are making. We should be satisfied with our food and shelter, everything. But we should never be satisfied with the amount of service that we are doing. We should never be satisfied with the amount of reading we are doing, amount of hearing we are doing. As I was, I don't know if you saw the video about the Balaram which I made. How he expands unlimitedly to serve the Lord. So we should also think how we can also expand continuously to. And perfect example of that is Srila Prabhupada. Right? You know, Prabhupada, even though we hear many times, Prabhupada is very compassionate, very loving, very kind. In one of the memory I heard, one devotee says, true, he is like that. But he never lost focus of one thing, that he has to fulfill the mission of his Guru. And he will make you work for that, day and night, at any cost. That's the power of the pure devotee. Even though he is loving, compassion and all, he will push you to really. Example, what happened was to when once in a morning walk, forgot his name, Rameshwara, I think, yeah, Rameshwara. He was one of the 11 gurus who fell down. But the time he was in charge of he was one of the leaders in the BPT. So Rameshwara told Prabhupada that Rameshwara and another devotee told Prabhupada that so my Prabhupada, we cannot publish the book. Prabhupada was so angry, very angry. You know? And then they asked him, why are you angry? He said, I have written day and night without sleeping, and you have not published the book. What is going on? Then they told that we can publish in 1-2 months one book like that. So it will take some time to finish all the rest. And Prabhupada said, I want all those 17 books published in 1 month. And Rameshwara said, that is impossible. And Prabhupada said that impossible is the word in the Fool's Dictionary. And everybody was stunned. Prabhupada said, I don't care what you do. 17 books I want to see in the next 1 month. And suddenly these two guys are coming behind and discussing what to do, how to do. Suddenly they are getting ideas. Actually, we can do like this, we can do like that. We can then suddenly they brainstorm. Only way to do this has to be 24-hour shift. We have to have devotees working 24 hours around. This is the schedule. This typing people, these people, everything is timetable. Then finally they told Prabhupada the plan. And they said, if you want to get this done, everything has to come to LA, Los Angeles. Because previously they were publishing in New York. And Prabhupada said, get it done. And they did it, no? And then they were telling, there's a Mataji who is not even eating, sleeping, she's just typing. Prabhupada said, yes. She is going on spiritual power. So, you see how he got things done, no? It's not like, it was not easy, you know, to be in the association of that pure devotee to work like that and being pushed to the limits. You are without imagination, you know, you cannot imagine. Even one time, even the Vrindavan temple, Mayapur temple, Prabhupada took time to do it. Vrindavan temple was completed within 2.5 years or 2 years only. He was pushing like every day, you know, and the devotee was going all out, doing all his best, but still he was getting scolded. And Prabhupada always said, not good enough. And he was thinking how this is the maximum he could do already. But somehow, because he said, somehow he thought, okay, never mind, I'll just pray to Krishna and help. Somehow he got it done. The leader of the, and finally everything was done. Then Prabhupada, they told him, Prabhupada, it's completed. Prabhupada said, because of this guy, you know, because I pushed him so much and I was scolding him so much every day, but he was not breaking, and he was working so hard. Then finally the devotee felt like, Prabhupada acknowledged my service, and of course Prabhupada acknowledged, but he was feeling very difficult. No, like he was doing maximum possible, and Robert said not good enough. Do even more. Do it more. So you must understand how the pure devotee. So I'm talking about this point because of here. One should mold the life in such a way that he cannot live in peace without drinking the nectar of the glorification. So we should not feel peaceful at all. Like always trying to see how to. And even if we do it also, it's like we know the patra. We cannot. There's no way. Even we do the best, also we cannot satisfy the the guru, and of course the Siksha Guru also. We cannot repay whatever they have done. Yeah. So I guess this is the points I wanted to make in the class today. Is there any comments or questions you want to ask? Nothing?
There was one question on the schools that you said now this taking district and the kids are not going to and that is how.
Can you say louder?
So the society is become detrimental because of the schools in which the education more on the materialistic and kids are watching pornography. So for this case, what's the solution? I mean, the kids also have to educate because they cannot just stay on the monthly mark, but they will not able to have overall education of the politics and the other affairs of the society. So in this case, how to educate the kids actually?
Hmm.
And what's the best way to educate the kids? I mean, if we keep the kids at home also, we are not the best teachers to do the right level of education for the kids also.
So the question was asked, what we do about the kids? Because I was speaking about how the school is so messed up. So you must understand that you think the kids are getting educated in school. Maybe education is just 10% of the whole thing. 90% is all these crazy things which are they are learning. These crazy. I mean, we're talking about Indian schools. We go to Western schools, they're learning how to be LGBTQ, right? Children are indoctrinated to become transgender. That is even worse there. So if it's possible, you try to do it through online. I don't know about Singapore, but if you are in India, put them in some kind of online kind of system where they see the main thing is the education is fine. Of course, it's not fine. Still not nothing compared to what is our real education is to understand who is their education is a system which is brainwashed. You see the example I have given before in one of the class. You just imagine 200 years ago, people are living simple, peaceful life, farming. You just have your land, you farm the food, you eat your food. That's all. Then you hear Harikatha. Life was simple. Then the capitalist kind of a society came in. They started to make all these factories. So capitalists wants to exploit the nature because they want to be rich. And to exploit nature, they need to employ people. So they start their factories. They tell people that, oh no, why you're working in the farm? I'm paying you higher salary. Come and work in my industry. And to be in that industry, you have to go through my university education. So the university education you're learning is a system which helps the capitalist grow because it's a university setup. Once you do that, let's say you study I studied the biomedical thing, and I'm going to work for the Pfizer. I did a diploma in biomedical. I didn't complete the degree. So I'm going to work for such industries, right? Because if I study such a course, then I have to work for such a capitalist leader. So in the end, the education is not education. The education is to make me qualified to work for a big boss. Whereas real education is spiritual life. And if you want, when you're talking about, let's say, maths and all these things, you can see. I'm not saying everybody can become like that boy. There's a boy called Abhigyan on YouTube. That boy, you guys, we are all studying in the university until 20, 22 years old, 23 years old, in Singapore, 25 years old. And then you come out, you make your salary. That boy, he was educated at home by his parents, only homeschooling. And he learned astrology. I'm just giving an example. One department of Vedic knowledge he learned perfectly, which is astrology. He has a YouTube channel with millions of subscribers. He would make every video. I mean, I would say in a month, his ad revenue and all would come at least to 8,000 Singapore dollars. That is so much money he's earning in India when he's just a 15 years old boy. So why is it not possible? He's not. He's not. Of course, he's not in a devotee association and things like that. But still, if you look at the case here, of course, he's also very genius in terms of astrology and stuff like that. But if your child is trained from a young age that way, it's not impossible. Genius is not just somebody suddenly is a genius. It's a lot of methodical training and teaching. So if we have that kind of way to educate our child doesn't need to go and ended up there. You can be a Vedic scholar. I mean, you can be a preacher. You can preach in internet, YouTube, and you can learn all these skills. Right? Of course, you will. Most people will end up as brahmacharis in the temple. And even if they don't, they are not associating with these karmis who destroy their piety and everything. So if it's possible, try to do it through homeschooling. We should see how to go homeschooling. In fact, if you look at the Western countries, many parents, they are not devotees, but they are going towards homeschooling because they know the dangers of this association. So get them in the homeschooling kind of a way. And if you see here, this Samarth and all this, they are going through homeschooling. If you talk to Samarth, he's still not contaminated by all. If by now, if he's in school, he'll be telling some bad words.
So many Gurukulas are there in India.
Gurukul is there, but we know what happened in ISKCON Gurukuls. So we will be careful. A lot of stories happen in Mayapur Gurukul, Vrindavan Gurukul. You are thinking putting them in Gurukul. Ideally, if we one day we can have our own Gurukul, but we are still not there yet. Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone wanted actually this Varnashram system.
Yeah, Varnashram. Prabhupada wanted Varnashram system. So this is all. So we are all lacking these things. Because now we are thinking that, see, end of the day, the education is not for to be educated. It's the money. You think that if I don't have this certificate, the money won't come. But money can come in various ways. Like I'm giving you an example of this Avigyan, the boy. He's not after money. He's just telling astrological prediction. In fact, he even predicted this recent Bangladesh crisis. So we have to have a broader perspective. We have to see it in a broader way. Yeah.
339 plus is sitting area plus strategic positions heart, mind, intelligence.
Yes.
You specialize material intelligence to spiritual and somewhere I was reading material intelligence is like a husband, mind is like a wife, and senses are like the children, they're all torturing that husband, mind is going for shopping and children also.
Yeah. You got the verse number?
I read somewhere about this.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. It's okay, right? We will stop here then. Jai Grandraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Jai Shri Prabhupada.